You eat whole grain bread with avocado for breakfast, low-fat yogurt with blueberries as a snack, a banana before your walk. Everything healthy. Everything exactly as recommended. And the belly fat won't move. Not even a centimeter. You are not crazy. You are not lazy. And you are not eating too much. The problem is somewhere else entirely, and most doctors will never explain it to you. If you don't understand what these so-called healthy foods are actually doing inside your body after 50, you are fighting your own metabolism every single day and losing every single day. In this video, I'm going to show you 10 foods that leave your insulin completely undisturbed, foods that finally give your body permission to do what it was built to do. Burn fat. And one of them will genuinely surprise you, because you spent decades hearing it was bad for you. It's number 10. And it will turn everything you thought you knew upside down. But before we get there, let's talk about the real problem. Because it's not the fat on your plate. It's not your willpower. It's not even your age. The real problem is a single hormone. Insulin. Think of insulin as the warehouse manager of your body. He works 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, standing at the door of your fat cells. And he decides one single question: accept the delivery or let it through. As long as sugar or carbohydrates are coming in, he accepts. He stores. He packs your fat cells full, locks the door behind him, and stays on duty. And as long as he is on duty, nothing can leave. No fat burning. No energy from your reserves. Nothing. Here is what most people over 50 don't know. Your pancreas has to produce more insulin to achieve the same effect. And more insulin means your warehouse manager is on duty longer. The doors stay closed longer. Your fat burning takes longer breaks. What you could eat without a problem at 30, the slice of whole grain bread, the granola bar, the apple between meals, is sabotaging you now. Not because you're doing something wrong, but because your warehouse manager doesn't hear as well anymore. Your body isn't broken. It has simply gotten older. And it needs different fuel now. Now here's the part that 99% of people never find out. And it will probably make you angry. You haven't been making mistakes out of laziness. You've been making mistakes because you've been misled for decades. And the mistake is so subtle that it happens to even the most health-conscious people over 50. Every single day. Multiple times a day. You've been eating the foods that were sold to you as healthy. And those exact foods are the biggest insulin bombs in your daily life. Let me be specific. Let me be specific. Your healthy whole grain bread has, in multiple studies, a higher glycemic index than table sugar. It drives your insulin higher than a sugar cube in your coffee. Your low-fat yogurt hides an average of 12 grams of added sugar per cup. That's 3 sugar cubes in a product marketed to you as healthy. Your classic morning muesli is an insulin bomb that keeps your warehouse manager working all morning long. While you think you're fueling your body, you're actually locking your fat burning away. And the worst offender, the one that looks completely innocent, the rice cake. Glycemic index of 87. For comparison, a bar of milk chocolate sits at 55. Let that land for a moment. Your rice cake with honey drives your insulin higher than 2 sugar cubes in your coffee. Professor Jenny Brand Miller from the University of Sydney, the pioneering researcher behind the glycemic index, has documented this over decades of work. This is not theory. This is measured reality. But there are 10 foods that do the exact opposite. Foods where your warehouse manager has nothing to do. Foods that finally give your body permission to burn the fat you've been fighting for years. Here they are. Number 1. Eggs. Have you ever stood in the kitchen in the morning wondering whether to have eggs and then reached for the muesli because it felt lighter? Most people still carry a 30-year-old myth in their heads. That eggs are heavy. That they're full of cholesterol. That they're risky? Here's what actually happens when you eat 2 eggs for breakfast. Your insulin warehouse manager has nothing to do. 0 carbohydrates. 0 sugar. Instead, your body gets complete protein, all essential amino acids, and choline. Choline is the fuel your liver uses to transport fat out of the bloodstream. 2 eggs in the morning keep you full for 4 to 5 hours without any insulin spike. Eggs are not the problem. They are the solution. Number 2. Avocado. Have you been avoiding avocado because it seemed too fatty? Or only allowing yourself half, with a side of guilt? Most people assume that because avocado is high in calories, it must cause weight gain. The truth is the exact opposite. What your body actually does with those fats, it processes them slowly, steadily, without an insulin spike. Your warehouse manager stays in the break room. Avocado doesn't make you fat. It makes you full. Number 3. Wild salmon and sardines. When did you last eat sardines from a tin? Probably never. And that is exactly the problem. Most people think fatty fish is a delicacy for special occasions. In reality, it may be one of the most powerful metabolic corrections you can eat. Wild salmon and sardines provide omega-3 fatty acids in a form your body can use immediately. These fats work like a repair crew at your cell membranes. They make your cells more sensitive to insulin again. Remember the Glasgow study? The insulin sensitivity that declines after 50? Omega-3s may help rebuild it. Add vitamin D, vitamin B12, high-quality protein, 0 carbohydrates, 0 sugar. Your warehouse manager wakes up. Your cells start listening again. Number 4. Extra virgin olive oil. What kind of olive oil is in your kitchen right now? Go and check. Does it actually say extra virgin on the label? Most people buy the cheapest bottle on the shelf. They assume olive oil is olive oil. That is the biggest mistake in your kitchen. Real extra virgin olive oil contains a molecule called oleocanthal. Oleocanthal works in your body like a natural anti-inflammatory, similar in effect to a low-dose aspirin. Without counting a single calorie. Olive oil is medicine in liquid form. Number 5. Almonds and walnuts. How often do you open the fridge in the middle of the afternoon because you feel that restless, uncomfortable feeling between meals? Most people call that hunger. It isn't. And this is where everything becomes clear. That restlessness is your blood sugar dropping, the result of an insulin spike you triggered hours earlier. A small handful of almonds or walnuts, about 20 pieces, can bring your blood sugar into a calm, stable range within minutes. Magnesium for your nerves. Healthy fats for satiety. Fiber for your gut. And your warehouse manager? Still sleeping. That's not hunger. That's sugar withdrawal. Number 6. Broccoli and leafy greens. Have you eaten anything green today? Real green. Not pre-packaged salad from a plastic bowl. Most people eat salad out of obligation. It tastes like nothing. It doesn't fill you up. But here's what nobody has ever explained to you about green vegetables. Broccoli, spinach, rocket, kale, they all contain sulforaphane and folate. Sulforaphane activates a natural detoxification mechanism inside your cells, one that becomes increasingly important after 50. Folate supports your body's ability to break down stress hormones. And a full bowl of broccoli has fewer than 6 grams of net carbohydrates. Your warehouse manager? Stay home. Green isn't an obligation. Green is fuel. Number 7. Blueberries in small amounts. You eat fruit because fruit is healthy. But have you ever thought about how much sugar is in a single banana? Most people assume all fruit is equally healthy. It isn't. Here's what most people never discover. Blueberries have the lowest sugar load of all common berries. A small handful, around 80 grams, contains less sugar than half an apple. But at the same time, it carries the highest concentration of anthocyanins of any common fruit. These deep blue plant compounds have been shown in studies to measurably improve insulin sensitivity. Researchers at the Harvard School of Public Health found that people who regularly ate small amounts of blueberries had measurably better glucose metabolism. Small isn't less. Small is smarter. Number 8. Mushrooms. When did mushrooms last appear as the main event in your meal? Not as a garnish. As the star. Most people completely underestimate mushrooms. They're treated as a side dish. Unremarkable. Forgettable. And that is exactly what makes them a quiet metabolic weapon. A full pan of mushrooms fills you up without pulling your warehouse manager out of sleep. And mushrooms contain ergothioneine, an amino acid that may help protect your cells from oxidative stress, something that becomes increasingly relevant after 50. Mushrooms are not a side dish. They are the main event. Number 9. Sauerkraut and fermented vegetables. When did you last eat real, unpasteurized sauerkraut? Not from a tin, from the refrigerated section. Most people think of sauerkraut as an old-fashioned side dish from grandmother's kitchen. Pay close attention now. Fresh sauerkraut contains billions of living lactic acid bacteria, natural probiotics that can help restore your gut. And your gut is not just a digestive organ. It's a second brain, the gatekeeper for your entire body. After 50, gut flora becomes thinner, less diverse. Sauerkraut may help rebuild it. Plus vitamin K2, the vitamin that directs calcium into your bones instead of your arteries. 0 sugar. Almost no carbohydrates. Your gut thinks. Beat it. Number 10. And now the food that will turn everything upside down. Remember at the beginning when I said one of these would surprise you? That 90% of people think it's unhealthy? Here it is. Let it land for a moment. Dark chocolate, with at least 85% cacao. You have spent decades hearing that chocolate makes you fat. That chocolate is sugar. That chocolate is a guilty pleasure. Here is the part that genuinely changed how I look at food. Real dark chocolate with 85% cacao contains less than 2 grams of sugar per piece. 2 squares of dark chocolate after a meal, and your body gets more polyphenols than from an entire bowl of salad. You were right to love it. Just for the wrong reasons. Now, before we close, 3 short bonus tips that may multiply everything you've just learned. Bonus tip 1. Timing. Make lunch your largest meal, not dinner. Insulin follows your body clock. Your metabolic response in the morning and midday is significantly stronger than in the evening. The last delivery your warehouse manager receives should ideally be at least 3 hours before bed. Bonus tip 2. Order matters. Eat protein and vegetables first. Then, if you're having any carbohydrates at all, eat those last. Research suggests this sequence can reduce the insulin response by up to 40% from the same meal. Bonus tip 3. Never eat carbohydrates alone. Always combine them with fat or protein. It slows absorption. It flattens the curve. Your warehouse manager stays calm. Look at these 10 foods together. Eggs, avocado, salmon and sardines, olive oil, almonds and walnuts, green vegetables, blueberries, mushrooms, sauerkraut, and yes, dark chocolate. They all share one property. They give your insulin warehouse manager something he's been denied for years. And only in that rest can your body do what it has always been built to do. Burn fat. Reclaim energy. Repair itself. You don't need to eat less. You don't need to exercise more. You don't need to count, restrict, or fight. You just need to tell your warehouse manager, take a break. And you do that by choosing the right things. In the next video, I'll show you 5 foods that are marketed as healthy but may be quietly sabotaging your metabolism after 50. One of them you've almost certainly eaten today. You don't want to miss that. Subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't. And one more thing, write it in the comments below. Which of these 10 foods surprised you the most? Just write the number. I read every single one. You're not eating too much. You're eating the wrong things. And now, you know the difference. This video is based on publicly available research and personal experience. It is not a substitute for medical advice.